Welcome to Yoga with Lynn, and today we're going to do a balancing and grounding practice because it's this kind of season and this kind of weather and everybody's up and down and everything, so we'll be focusing on that type of practice today. So find a comfortable position, probably lying down, and you can have a rolled blanket or bolster along your spine. You can have a cushion under your head. Whatever makes you comfortable to start here. So to begin with, bring your attention to your inner landscape and just become aware of how you're feeling right now. And we're not going to change that yet, but just be aware of it. So start physically. How are you feeling physically today? Did you do some yard work or anything that maybe created some stiffness? Are you more tired than usual? Are you keyed up? Just anything that you can be aware of that strikes you in the physical realm. And then bring your awareness to the mental or the emotional realm. So what are your thoughts like right now? Do you have a lot of thoughts, a lot of things that you have yet to do today or have done today? How are you feeling? Is there any residue from any things in your life from this morning or yesterday or last week or last month? Just take stock of that. And then you're going to bring your awareness to your breath. So the breath may reflect the states that you have, your physical or your emotional, mental state. But just notice, is it shallow? Are there gaps or roughness? Is it hard to catch your breath? Just characterize it for yourself. Describe it to yourself. And then we're going to begin some pranayama, where we shape the breath, change the breath to still the mind and to come into balance. So we'll do a 1-to-1 ratio of the inhale to exhale. So you can count this if you want. You can do a 3 or 4 count inhale, 3 or 4 count exhale, or you can just approximate what you want to do. So just begin, inhale and exhale of the same length. And gradually slow the breath down, deepen the breath. Keep the inhale and exhale the same length. And now use the breath to bring in what's needed right now, right where you are. If that's more physical energy, more calmness, just let the inhale bring that in. And let the exhale release and let go of what no longer serves you. So let the breath nurture you and take care of your needs. So we're going to start to move now, and I want you to move your props out of the way. So if you've got cushions under your head or you're on a blanket or bolster, move those off to the side and come to lying on your back with your knees bent, your feet flat on the floor and your arms alongside your body. And bring your awareness to your low back. Take an inhale, and on the exhale, press the low back towards the floor. Don't use a lot of muscular energy, just a gentle press. And on the inhale, move it away from the floor and maybe arch the back slightly. So exhale, press the back towards the floor, lengthening the low back, and inhale, arching the back away from the floor. And as you do this, you're rocking on your pelvis. So the tailbone tips up when you flatten and drops down when you arch. So exhale as you flatten. Inhale, let the low belly release as you arch. And just continue rocking, waking up the low back. And we're going to add to this by come back to a neutral spine, bring your hands back behind your head, widen your elbows out to the side, arch your back away from the floor, and then on the exhale, lift your head, squeeze the elbows, and come up. Inhale, release everything down and draw the back off the floor. Exhale, squeeze. So go at your own pace. Use your breath to contract the abdominals as you lift up. Release the abdominals as you come down. Full breath in, full breath out. 2 more times. And you can hold in one position if that feels good. And when you come back down, straighten the arms alongside the body and bring your feet to the edges of the mat. Keeping the left knee pointed to the ceiling, drop the right knee in. Doesn't matter how far down it goes. Roll it back up. So we're bringing awareness to the back of the hip. We're resetting the sacrum by doing this. So roll the knee in. So try to keep the back of the hip in contact with the floor as much as you can. Just really being aware. Go as slow as you need to go to really feel it. And don't use a lot of muscle energy here. Just more of a gliding of the tissues. And just continue and try to keep the left knee from moving so that you're isolating just the right side. And let's do 2 more. And then bring the right knee to face the ceiling and keep it still as you drop the left side in and roll it back up. Just gliding and rocking and rolling. Exhaling as you go down and inhaling as you come up. And a couple more. And then when you bring the knee back up, walk the feet back under the sit bones. Lift your feet up off the floor and put one hand on each knee. We're going to make circles, so we're going to separate the knees out to the side, then draw them into the chest, bring them back together, and press them away. So big circles with the knees. And you can feel that, again, on that back side of the body, the low back and sacrum, getting a bit of a massage. And then let's reverse.
So bring them out and then press them away and draw them in. Just whatever range of motion feels right for you. Small circles, large circles, so you're getting a massage on the back. And then finish up one more. And we'll bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees go out wide. Hold on wherever's comfortable. You can hold the shins, the ankles, or the outside of the feet. Just let the back of your neck lengthen. Widen the knees away from each other. And try to keep the tailbone released flat to the floor if possible, rather than curled up. And then let's move into Happy Baby, again holding wherever is comfortable. You can even hold the back of your thighs if you'd like, ankles, outside of the feet, pressing the knees down towards the floor. And again, keeping the tailbone as long as possible on the floor. Release your hands, take the right ankle onto the left thigh, hold on under the left leg, left thigh, straighten the bottom leg, and if you need more stretch on the outside of your thigh, press your elbow into your thigh. Alright, and then release, change sides, so bring the left ankle on the right thigh. You can straighten the bottom leg or keep it bent. Whatever gives you the most opening on the outside of the thigh. And now release the left leg down to the floor. Keep the right leg lifted. Bring your arms out into a T. And we're going to dynamically go into a twist. So we bring the right leg across the body towards the floor. It does not need to touch, just in that direction, and come back up. So again, we're rolling on the back side of the body. The leg is straight unless you need to keep it micro bent. So just moving a little more deeply each time into the twist. Just noticing how your back is rolling on the floor, your low back. And come up to the center, reach the leg out like someone's pulling on your ankle, reach your leg down to the floor, nice and long, and then bring your left leg up to the ceiling, and again, over to the right. And you're trying to keep the shoulders down, but it doesn't matter if that left shoulder lifts up a little bit. We're more interested in the gliding action on the low back sacrum area than we are in perfecting a twist. And last time. Now keep that left leg lifted. Bring it out to the side and drop it down to the floor. Bring the other leg up to the ceiling. And now bring top leg over to the bottom leg. So now you're in a double leg twist. Hold here. Again, the shoulders can come up off the ground. You can relax that right arm. Relax the right shoulder. And now bring the top leg up to the ceiling. Move it over, so now it's going to go down to the right side onto the floor, and the left leg stacks on top. And hold. So again, the knees can be bent or straight. And then bring the top leg up to the ceiling. Bring the bottom leg up to the ceiling. And just pause. And then hug your knees into your chest and rock from side to side. And then roll to your right side, and using your arms, press yourself up and come to a seated position, sitting on a bit of a height. So if you have a cushion or a folded blanket, come to seated. And bring the soles of your feet together. So bring your hands behind you to start. And come up on your fingertips, press your chest forward. So you've got a nice lengthened spine. And now start to bring your hands in front, and just notice if you start to slump down, then you want to keep your hands back behind you. Otherwise, you stay lifted like this, and you're pressing the thighs away from each other, the knees, lengthening the inner thighs. And then if we want to add the fold, so you can stay here or you can fold, press down. Again, the elbows can press onto the legs for greater opening. Just come forward with a flat back to start, and then drop the head and maybe round the shoulders a little bit, but try to keep the low back flat as possible. And then lift the head, come up with a flat back to tall, and open your legs out wide. All right, so again, we'll do the same thing. Have the hands behind you and just kind of checking for how much support you need. Bring them in front, and if you don't change your spine, then you're good to keep your hands in front. Draw your toes back, and now with a flat back, just tilt. So you may only tilt a little bit and start to feel a stretch. Just come to wherever feels right, and then hold. And you can drop the head, you can come down on the forearms, wherever gives you a stretch on the inner thighs. You can always keep the knees micro bent here too if it's too much on the inner thighs. And now lift your head, walk your hands back, bring your hands underneath, bring your knees bent, and we'll come to Sukhasana, seated position. Okay, rock the baby. So with this one, we're gonna lift the foot up, hug it in towards you. Now everybody's a little different on where this is gonna go. This is the full extreme, is to hook the foot in the elbow, but you don't need to do that. You can just hold it, and then we'll just have a gentle movement like that. So wherever you can hold. All right, and then release. The other side. You might find a big difference from side to side. Release. And we'll come to all fours. So if you need padding for your knees, now's the time to bring some padding. Come to all fours. Widen your fingertips. Draw your navel up towards your spine. Take an inhale, and keeping the back straight, sit your heels back, sit your sit bones back towards your heels, and let your head come down last. And then inhale, rise back up. Chakravarkrasana. So leading with the sit bones. You can bend the elbows slightly to keep your back straight. And then inhale with a flat back. Come up, lead with the collarbones. So do that 3 more times at your own pace. Movement with the breath. Inhale to rise, exhale to sink. And the next time you come back to your heels, stay back. And then bring your hands around so that your palms are facing up and your hands on the back of your low waist. Inhale, come to standing on your knees and sweep the arms up, extend. And exhale, tuck the chin, draw the navel in, and round back down. And again, inhale, extend, exhale, round, curl back down. Inhale, extend. This time we're going to reach the hands forward, and you can come to a modified up dog, or you can come all the way down onto the floor for cobra, whatever works for your wrists. Can even be on your forearms if that works better. And then exhale, press back in to child's pose with your hands back on your back, and we'll do that version. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, reach forward. Inhale, lift the chest. And exhale, sit back on your heels. And one more time. Inhale, extend, Vajrasana. Exhale, forward. Inhale, lift the chest to Cobra. And exhale, back down. Just hold in child's pose here for a couple of extra breaths. Sinking your hips towards your heels. And then keeping your arms outstretched with your fingers wide. Lift up to all fours, curl your toes, lift your hips, keep your knees deeply bent, and lift your sit bones towards the ceiling. And then start to straighten your heels and lift your head and look out in front of you. And then just come to your head between your arms for a down dog. Pressing your heels towards the floor, firming your thighs, lifting your hips. And now walk your hands back towards your feet and stay down in forward fold. So your hands can be touching something, either your legs or the floor. And again, the legs are straight or micro bent. Let your head hang. Breathe into the back side of your body. Then bring your hands to your shins. Lift up to a flat back. Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, fold Uttanasana. And again, inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Bring your hands to your hips and come on up to Tadasana. Take a moment here to check in, see how you feel. All right, we're gonna make our way to low lunge. So let's inhale the arms up, exhale, step back to downward facing dog. And then either come to all fours and bring your right leg forward, or just step the right leg forward and come into low lunge. Your hands can be on the floor, you can have them on blocks, or you can have your hands up on your leg. We'll do this dynamically. So let's first sink the hips, so really opening this back leg. Sink your hips, lift your chest, and then we'll come back to straightening the leg, draw the toes back towards you, and then forward. So again, you can have your hands down on the floor or blocks if that feels more stable. And just move at your own pace, easing in and out. And this next time, you sink forward and then come back, and you can hold here. Here, you can sit back on your heel, or you can fold forward. Just take a moment wherever you feel the greatest challenge, but not too much. And then let's come out of that. Still keeping the right foot forward, we're going to bring the back knee in a little bit. Get a block, or you can just have your elbows on the floor. Bring your forearms down onto the block. You can stack the blocks. You can have it in a higher position. And then I'll turn so you can see. You're going to drop the knee out to the side so that the sole of the foot comes up and you're on the side of your foot. And then just drop your head and stay with that opening of the knee out to the side to whatever degree it goes. All right, and then come on up. And you can either take a down dog in between or just change legs. So now you've got the left foot forward, hands down on the floor, on blocks, or up on your thigh. Sink your hips to start so you really find your deepest point, and then come back to the point where you can straighten the leg as much as possible. So maybe it doesn't go all the way straight, but you get it to the point where you can feel it. And then let's go in and out of this. And just at your own pace with the breath. Sinking and extending. And then we'll come to a hold. So either hold your hips lifted, sit back on a heel, or fold all the way forward. Just choose that spot and stay still, come back to the breath. Step back to down dog and walk walk your feet up towards your hands. Bring your hands to your hips and with a flat back, come on up to Tadasana. And come on up to the front of the mat. And we'll do some lunge salutations here. So just flowing through this with the breath. Go as slow as you need to go. And you can always leave out the lunge and it's still a lunge salutation. So, all right, inhale up, extend, exhale, forward fold. Inhale the right foot back, drop the knee down and either stay down or lift your arms up. And then bring, step or hop the back foot up to the front, clasp your hands behind your back, drop your head, and then inhale, lift up, mini back bend, and hands to heart. Left side, fold, inhale back to the lunge. Drop the head, clasp the hands, inhale, rise up and down. And do one more on each side at your own pace. And just take a moment. Come back to your breath. And then I'll just turn to the side, but you can just stay where you are and bring the hands back behind. And we'll do standing camel, but we'll do it with the hands clasped here. So if that's hard on your hands, you can hold your wrists or even use a strap. Draw the knuckles down so that the shoulder blades come closer together. Keep your legs very firm, draw the thighs back. Keep the legs really straight as you rock your hips forward and let your head roll back. Now, keeping the chin tucked is the safest position. You can be straight ahead or you can open the throat to any degree that feels safe for you. So send the breath up into chest, collarbones, throat. Keep firming the thighs so you get as much out of this back bend as possible. And then keeping your head right where it is, just rock forward, release the arms, release the chin to the chest. Let the back of the neck be long. And we'll do that again. So bring the hands behind, draw the knuckles down, or you can also draw the hands away from the body too. Firm the thighs, rock the hips forward, send the center of the chest up to the sky. And then rock forward, release the hands, and then once again drop the chin to the chest. And then release, relax. Let's do some balancing. So if you're on a puffy mat, you may want to step onto more solid ground. And we'll do crane. So with this one, first find a nice steady pose. Find a gazing point that keeps you nice and steady. And then work from conservative to seeing where your balance is today. So you can just lift up to this point and hold. Or to challenge your balance, you can move the arms. in any position. You can also move the leg if that, but don't do it unless you just need the challenge. If the challenge is just to stay balanced, then be conservative and stay where you need to be. The other way to challenge it is to move the gaze. You can move, the higher up you move it, the harder it is. When you're ready to come out, you just lower back down to Tadasana, even out your weight, and then shift to the other leg. So one tip is to keep your focus about 2 inches below the physical navel. So with having a firm gazing point and breathing in and out of that low center can sometimes help. When you're ready to let go of that. All right, we're going to move into dancer pose. So you can always go to a wall or a chair. We're going to take hold of the right foot, ankle, pant leg, or use a strap. The strap can just go on the top of the ankle. You can just hold like that, any way that you want. So let's start with the knee pointed down as much as it will go. And you can just hold here. You can work on balance, or if you're holding onto the wall, you can work on opening the front side of the body. So with this, if you need more stretch on that front side of the body, you can bring the knee back. So you're bringing the heel close to the hip. And if you're using your hand, you're pressing your foot into your hand. Either working balance, working the front of the thigh, or working both. All right, release, and then go to the other side. Ready, and have your blocks up to the front of the mat. Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose. So we'll have the right foot forward, left foot back. The toes of the back foot are facing, probably up to the front corner of the mat. And it's not a very wide stance, it's just 2 feet or so. Your hips are facing the front of the room. We'll inhale the left arm up and then come forward with a flat back. So maybe you don't go all the way halfway, you just come to a tilt and then come back up. And inhale, reach the collarbones long out in front of you, the long arm. And then this time we're going to come to the blocks so you have to move them into place. So you can have one arm, or you can have both for greater support. And then drop your body in front, over that front leg. Drop the head, top of the head towards the floor. Press into the back outer heel and the big toe of the front foot. And then lift your head, reach your arm out by your ear and press into your back heel and come up and lower your arm down, and we'll change legs. So left foot front, right foot. So really get the legs nice and firm, so that bringing the legs towards the mid part of the body. Inhale the right arm up. Come forward with a flat back and then up. So this front knee could be micro bent. It's better to micro bend it than to lock it, but it's more or less straight. And this time let's go for the block. And then down the front, over the front of the front leg. And then lift the head, reach the arm long, press into your feet, come on up, and step forward. Take a moment in Tadasana. Okay. All right, let's do one more standing pose here. So Parvrita Trikonasana, revolved triangle pose. So we'll have the right foot forward. Same stance as we did before. This time bring the left arm up, and you're gonna bring the block to the outside of your foot here. And you're gonna bring your left hand to the block. Now if that's too far or too unsteady, then have the block on the inside of the foot. The block can be in any position. So your other hand is on your hip, and then you're gonna rotate toward the front leg. So you're trying to stack your shoulders. Other way, Rosemary. Yeah, that's too easy. All right. So press into the back outer heel and the front big toe of the side of the foot. Lengthen from your sit bones out the top of your head, creating as long a spine as you can. And then unwind, bring your hands to your hips, come on up. That's not an easy pose. That's a very difficult one to do, even with a block in the high position. So it's just one we need to work on. So let's bring the block over to the other side, have the left foot. So block on the inside, outside. Now if you're finding that your balance is off, bring your back foot over to the side a little bit. The traditional pose is the heels line up, but that sometimes is just not worth doing. So line the heels up or have the foot over to the side. Okay, right arm up, find that length, cross the midline of the body, and then rotate to open the chest towards the straight leg, stacking the shoulders, lengthening the spine. Tadasana. It's kind of a deep twist there. Check in with yourself. All right, make our way down to all fours. So let's inhale the arms up. Exhale, come on down. Come to all fours. And let's do some cat-cow. So round your back, widen the shoulder blades, tuck the chin, and then inhaling. So go at your own pace with this. You may want to hold some of these positions longer, or you may want to flow through them.
And now we're going to cut into pigeon. So you can do this from down dog and just swoop your right leg forward, or from this position. And most of you have a preferred way, but you can roll a blanket, put it about halfway in the mat, and bring the top of the back thigh onto the rolled blanket. So this hip can hang out here. It doesn't have to be supported. And this way, the back, your sacrum is, some people find it very stressful on their sacrum to be in the, without having the blanket underneath. So this is just an option. Have the right leg forward, lift up, find length, and then reach out over that front leg. Bring your head down on something. So if you could reach for a block if your head doesn't come to the floor. And then just release and let go. Out, lift up, walk your hands back, and then either come to all fours, or you can go back to down dog and change sides. Left leg is front. You can have the straight leg on the blanket, or whatever works for you to do. Another option is to just sit on your heel this way. For some people, if they're not comfortable to get all the way in, you can just sit on your heel here and come forward. Otherwise, you have it out to the side. It's just wherever your knee goes. All right, and come on down. Come out, press yourself up, and then you can just go ahead and sit over onto your hip. Bring the other leg around and come to Dandasana. Just sit tall, bring your toes back, straighten your legs. Or you come down onto the back, so have a block handy. Bend your knees, roll down one vertebra at a time, tuck your chin. Use every opportunity to lengthen the spine. Coming down to flat back, knees bent, feet flat on the floor, and bring your heels fairly close to your sit bones. And lift your hips and place the block at the lowest part of your spine, so under the sacrum, not on the waist, into supported bridge. So you can stay here in supported bridge and just have this inversion. If you want more inversion, you can bring legs to the ceiling. So we'll stay for a few minutes. Just take whatever option. You can always come in or out of it.
And then when you're ready to come out, bring one foot down and then the other. Straighten your legs and bring your arms up overhead. Just bend the elbows and relax the arms overhead. And then bend your knees. Lift your hips, take the block out. And if you need to do another movement, such as hugging your knees into your chest or stretching a little bit, do that and then just move right into Shavasana. So with Shavasana, you just want to be as comfortable as you can. You can put blocks or bolster a blanket underneath your knees or thighs to help your low back. You might cushion your head. And then just let your body release to the floor. Feel your heels sink into the earth. Feel your legs be heavy. Release any holding. Soften your low waist. Soften the front of your chest. Let your tongue be heavy and your teeth parted slightly. And just let your eyes roll back in the sockets.
Take a few deeper breaths. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Place your hands on your abdomen and open your eyes. And then taking whatever time you need, roll to your right side. And using your arms, make your way up to a comfortable seated position. And bring your hands together in Anjali Mudra. Honor yourself for taking the practice today. Honor each other for this practice that we create together. May you be well, may you be peaceful, may you be happy. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you all for coming.